Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are going to break down SSH, which is Secure Shell. Why we use it, how it works, what it is, and I'll also show you how to install SSH and how to connect to remote system. But before jump into SSH, we need to understand a few basic networking concepts. Otherwise, SSH won't make any sense, right? So what is actually is networking? So let's go ahead with the paint, right? And let's start with networking. So what is basically networking? So networking is like it simply means connecting two or more devices in terms to share the data, right? And the communication between the two systems, like A system, B system, they just usually used to communicate between each other, isn't it? To share the data, communicate between systems, and for example, also with the host, the applications, and web servers and those kind of things, right? So the networking is basically communication between devices, just like people talk to each other, devices also talk, but they use kind of signals, protocols, right? So what is protocol? So protocol is something we say it is as a set of rules. Okay, so the way of connecting and communicating between each other, be each systems, right? So here, the protocol which we are using is SSH, which runs under port number 22. So port in the sense it's a kind of a door, right? Assume that there is a building and they have different doors, right? So just forgive about my drawing, just for understanding, I'm writing it. Suppose it's kind of a door. Now you have an apartment A, okay? And in that apartment, I have something like the home number of 21, 22, right? So in terms to connect to this endpoint, this is what we call as port, right? The port with the port number 22. So in port number 22, we are just trying to connect this endpoint. So, SSH works under port number 22, just like we have other service like FTP 21 and what else we have? We have HTTP, which runs under 80, HTTPS, which runs under 443, Secure 443, and many other things are there, right? So here I just wanted to make you guys understand what is exactly the networking, right? Networking and the ports, protocols, right? So now we need to understand a concept called IP address. So you might have heard, you might have not heard, but this term is really very important. So this is IP address is basically a kind of the address of a particular device in the network. This is a name to identify a particular device. Okay, for example, it comes under a kind of an in the form of numbers, numerical forms, right? 192.168.1.10, 12, 40, 60, anything like that. So just like your house has a unique address, someone can send you a letter, a message like that. Every device has a unique IP address, so that knows exactly where to go. So there are different kind of different types out there. So we have something called as private IPs and we have public IPs, right? So private IP is something like it looks like this 192.172 or 10 form of thing. So private IP. Okay, so dedicatedly we have private IPs over there like that form. So in public IP, it's basically like kind of we have I don't know 82.129.80.111. So like this form, okay? So we'll see in the practical that how the private IP looks like and public IC looks like. Okay, so let's jump into our Kali Linux. Okay, so I'm giving IPA. So here I could see my private IP, which is 192.168.1.11, right? Now, if I see curl ifconfig.me, so here I could see my public IP address, right? So like this way, even you can check your public and private IPs. Okay, so private IP in the sense we are using all it in a local way. Now I wanted to connect to this Kali Linux machine through SSH. Okay, so What SSH basically is, so SSH stands for Secure Shell. It is a method to securely connect to another computer over a network. Okay, now I have a desktop, or for example, now let's see, now we have a Kali and now I have a Windows. Okay, instead of going inside the Kali and typing it about the command and doing some kind of certain task, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the terminal or command prompt, right? And I'm going to shoot out SSH, the username which the username which is existing. Okay, username which is exist in the Kali. Okay, so I'm going to call out that SSH username at the IP address of it. Okay, so I'm using that IP address so I can able to connect it. Okay, before that we need to understand how to install SSH in Ubuntu or any other Linux. What we have to do here is we need two parts. Okay, two parts, which is SSH client. So it's used to connect to other systems, and we need SSH server. Okay, now I just wanted to check whether SSH is there or not. Okay, SSH is there, but what I'm going to do here is let me just try to connect with this IP address. SSH username is Muhammad at the IP address. What's the IP address? 192.168.1.11. Okay, so now let's try whether it's working or not. No, it's not working. SSH connect to host, the IP address port number 22 connection is refused. Why it is that? It seems that SSH is there, but why it's not working in the sense this is SSH client, okay, where we can able to use for the connection, but the server is not working. So just to check, let's check how many ports are running in this server. Like 10 map localhost, nothing, no servers is running out here. So what I'm going to do is let's install, go for sudo apt install open ssh hyphen server. Okay, enter, give the password for Muhammad, and it's gonna ask you for OpenSSH client, which is already there. OpenSSH client, GSS API, OpenSSH server, SFTP server. Yes, I need that. Press Y and enter. Okay. So what it actually does here is it's just upgrading. Rather of installing it, it's just upgrading. So it's already there, but we it's haven't started yet. Okay. Please make sure to understand this. If you didn't have this in your system, it's going to install it. Now in this case he's just upgrading it, so this is the same procedure we used to do. Okay, so let it upgrade. Okay, so let's check this thing. Okay, again it's not working. Yes, it's I think it's upgraded. It's didn't install. So let's check this service SSH status. Okay, it says that it's inactive. So what we can do is service SSH start. So it's asking for the password. Enter the password. Now let's check the status and it's active and running. Right? Now what we can do is now let's try to connect this and it's gonna work. Okay, so it's asking that the remote host writing question hasn't changed. So it basically gives us that in this particular file it's already there with the different IP or different the certificate issues are there. So what we can just directly go do is go for the the path administrator.ssh. Okay, so let's go for users administrator.ssh and the known host, open node pair. You might not get this, you either get it or you not get it. Just make sure that you remove this 11, whatever the IP address. you're trying to connect. Okay, just save it and close it. Now it's gonna work. Okay, now it's asking you like you want to connect, give yes, and give the password, and you are successfully logged in. So So instead of just go ahead in Kali or any other machine, just shoot out the command apt install OpenSSH server and connecting to that machine. I have just shown you that what is basic, right? The basic understanding of how it works and how to install. If any error, common error, these are the common errors that we usually used to get and how to resolve it, right? So it's gonna help you a lot and a lot. So if you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.